Welsh conservative group. Now, at the start of our programme, we heard about a gunman who opened fire on an Independence Day parade in Illinois, killing at least 6 people. Hundreds of thousands of similar events are taking place across the United States today. And for many of those celebrating their national independence, the 4th of July wouldn't be complete without the sound of this. That was the most famous bit of Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture, which is the traditional accompaniment to fireworks that will be set off all over the United States tonight to celebrate Independence Day. But not only is that piece of music Russian, it's also written to celebrate a Russian military victory, namely repelling Napoleon's invading French army. You can see why, during Russia's current invasion of Ukraine, it might no longer be deemed appropriate. But is getting rid of it like going without turkey on Thanksgiving Day? Daniel Black is the resident conductor of the Florida Orchestra. He chose to cut the 1812 Overture from a Memorial Day program in May. Welcome to the program, Daniel. Why did you decide not to play the piece then?
Well, thank you very much. I can tell you that when the invasion began, I was on message with colleagues of mine in Ukraine who were literally under artillery bombardment and getting messages from Russian friends of mine who were afraid to say anything publicly about the war, but wanted to assure me that they were against it. And in this kind of atmosphere, it just seemed absolutely inappropriate to be performing a piece that celebrates not just a great Russian piece of music, but a military victory that has a nationalistic tone and uses quotations from the Tsarist national anthem.
There must have been some debate around the decision, given the popularity of the tune on a day on today. Talk me through the conversation.
Well, the first thought was like, okay, well, we've done this many times. It's traditional. What do we replace it with? If we replace it with anything, people will be expecting it. And then we sort of went from there to deciding to replace it with music that would celebrate more of the United States, more of our own culture and heritage, that was really appropriate for a Memorial Day concert.
But it's a big jump, isn't it, from that to thinking that playing this piece means you support Russia?
Indeed. But I think that the character of this music is kind of symbolic of military adventures. And in this case, the current war is sort of the reverse of what this piece is intended to perhaps express. It just didn't seem to quite fit the moment.
There will be many Americans who will miss this piece of music very badly this evening, and some will say, I didn't even know it was Russian, I don't care.
Well, that's true, and it has been a big part of American celebrations for about the last few decades. But there's also wonderful music written in America that kind of scratches the same itch and that you can set your fireworks to, that also really celebrate the birth of the United States.
How many Russian pieces of art and music will be laid aside now? Is it right that such a big slice of culture be ignored?
Well, I think that there's a big distinction to be made between works of art and works that are really specifically topical for one particular purpose. And I think that there's an incredible tradition of Russian works of art that are really timeless and apply to all of humanity.
Okay.
And those, I think, are part of the program.
Daniel Black, resident conductor of the Florida Orchestra in the US. Many thanks. Just time for our closing headlines now. The BBC has learnt that Boris Johnson was made aware of a complaint of inappropriate behaviour made against the former Deputy Chief Whip, Chris Pincher, before he was appointed to the role in February this year. And a manhunt is underway in a US city near Chicago after a gunman opened fire on an Independence Day parade. That was The World Tonight. I'm Paul Henley. For now, from me and from everyone on the programme, good night.
Studio direction was by Holly Palmer. The editor was Anna Koryginska.
Women